Hello everybody. Hello everybody, it's Joe Ditzel. Joe Ditzel is not the name of a star, folks. It's Tuesday, 2016, Columbus, Ohio. Northbound once again. This time heading for the neighborhood of Clintonville. There's a couple of interesting places to see up there. We're going to take a look. It's going to be hot again. It's going to be a hot one. Low to mid-90s probably today. We're going to spend some time here in Clintonville. It's a neighborhood just north of Ohio State University in Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio. And there's a couple of items of interest we're going to look at, including... I gotta check my notes, man. All right, here we go. The southern border of the town is Arcadia. That's that street right there. Or Glen Echo Ravine. I have no idea what that is. So we just crossed the southern border of the neighborhood of Clintonville. Now, as you can imagine, this area used to be out in the sticks. And in the early 1900s, Ohio State University professors and some downtown employees would buy homes up here because they were cheap and it was out in the boonies. Nice and quiet. Unlike right now. So let's venture forth and check out a couple of these areas of interest. So one thing I do know is that Clintonville, when I lived here in the mid-'80s, was a very affordable kind of neighborhood. I don't think it was considered a pricey neighborhood, but, you know, a solid neighborhood. And then, as I understand it, in 2000, between 2000 and 2007, when the economy collapsed, 2008, right in there, there was a mini real estate boom in Clintonville because the homes were affordable. As far as I know, it's Columbus schools. And so home prices increased dramatically during that time period, as they did in many neighborhoods of similar nature. That's what I need, an electric bicycle. Forget this pedaling. Now this is Southwick Good and Fort Camp, if I'm reading that correctly, funeral home at 3100 North High Street. But originally it was the Clinton Chapel. It was called the Clinton Chapel or Clintonville Chapel, I'm not sure which. And this was a main stop on the Underground Railroad for many years. So, like much of Ohio, Many routes in Ohio along the Underground Railroad. This was a major location running through from south of Columbus up through Columbus and north, and they would hide people in the basement of this chapel, and then in the middle of the night would move them along the Underground Railroad to Canada. It stopped being a chapel in, I think, the late 1800s. And you can see this funeral home was established in 1924. A lot of history in that building right there. Old Clintonville. When the home prices started to accelerate upwards in the, let's go up this street, California Avenue. That should make me feel at home. When the home prices started to go up in Clintonville in the early 2000s, many areas around Clintonville, these little neighborhood pockets, they weren't technically Clintonville, started calling themselves Clintonville in the real estate ads. It reminds me of in Los Angeles, you'll see the term Beverly Hills adjacent. It's not Beverly Hills, but it's adjacent. I'm not going to make it. Route 51, some kind of bike trails. I'm on Calumet Avenue or Street. I'm exhausted.
All right, let's talk a little trivia, courtesy Wikipedia, about Clintonville. Did you know that Clintonville was named after George Clinton? No, not the leader of Parliament, P. Funkadelic. Every boomer is going, we need the funk. Gotta have that funk. There's a whole lot of Clinton going round. No, not that Parliament, P. Funkadelic leader George Clinton. I'm talking about the Vice President. Vice President George Clinton. What? You don't know who that is? He was the governor of New York from 1777 to 1795, and again from 1804 to 1801 to 1804. Then he served as fourth Vice President of the United States from 1805 to 1812 for two presidents, Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. Can you imagine that? That guy was VP for two presidents, and they named a town after him. That's a life well lived, am I right?
See? George Clinton of New York, then Vice President of the United States under President James Madison. See? You are here. Early settlement. Section 1, Jonathan Dayton. Look at all this. Did Jonathan Dayton get this whole section? Is that the deal? Wait a minute. Jonathan Dayton also got Section 3. What the hell? Jonathan Dayton had a lot of sections. The township was part of the United States military lands set aside by Congress in 1796 to satisfy claims of soldiers who served in the American Revolution. Thank you for your service. The area was first settled in 1799 by Balser Hess, who built his cabin on the west side of the Whetstone Olentangy River. On June 23, 1800, patents were issued for the 4 sections of 4,000 acres, each which comprised the township. Jonathan Dayton bought sections 1 and 3, George Stevenson section 4, and John Rathbone section 2. Why did Jonathan Dayton get 2 sections? Clintonville is located in the Rathbone Purchase. I can't believe it was 4,000 acres. It says patents were issued. Why would they issue patents for sections of town? I don't know. It was a different time. But 4,000 acres? 4 sections of 4,000 acres. Each of these sections was 4,000 acres, and Jonathan Dayton got 2. Balser Hess settled in 1799. I don't think they had Pokemon Go in those days. I think that was like 1840, right in there.
Well, folks, that's pretty much the vlog for today. We're just enjoying a few more shots of Clintonville. Of course, there's a lot more to the town, but we'll have to come back. I hope you enjoyed those little tidbits of trivia about this all-American neighborhood. And of course, if you're ever in Columbus, Ohio, we'll leave the light on for you. Isn't that what they say in those ads?